Hello everyone, welcome to my masterclass. Today I'm going to be teaching about the Eden City, how to create and how to harbor your enabling environment. Are we ready? Let's go. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
My name is Nkem. I would like to introduce everybody, but I'm sure we've already had that time already. You guys have had time for each other. So let's what is an environment? So the question says creating and harboring an enabling environment. So what would you use to define environment? What does this really even mean? If I want to ask what an environment is, I'd like to ask you, what does this really mean? Creating and harboring an enabling environment. First of all, there's an environment. How many of you remember your biology? Your biology. Every entity has its habitat. Do you remember?
Yes.
If you put a fish in water, its movements will be what? Better. Do you believe that you can exist better in water, underwater, than above the land? How many of you believe that you can? That if you put inside water like this now, you'll be at your excellence. So everybody has, it's called a habitat. Everybody has their habitat. Everybody has that place where they what? Where they thrive. There's a space. Every entity. Yes, people always say this, and I say it's true. We are inside out people. We are not what? Outside in people. So what does inside and outside in people? We do not really live our lives based on what we receive inside. You can come to a point in your life, especially if you're a believer, where you don't live your life based on what is outside, but you take cognizance of your life. You take the core of your life. You take the core of your life based on what is inside. But this masterclass is not about to tell you about what is inside. It's about to let you know that there are environments that what is inside can be expressed better. Okay, let me ask a question. I asked a question in my introductory class. Naya, have you ever seen yourself, maybe throughout the whole year, 2023, was there any week or month you were thriving in your workplace, you were doing things better? Sometimes your month, you were low, sometimes you were high, sometimes you were low. How many of you have experienced that before? Have you experienced that before? Sometimes you were low, sometimes you were high, sometimes you were low, sometimes you were high. I've experienced that before, and I've had that, and it's been most of the issues where I'm not able to, forgive me please, I'm not able to be consistent with my performance. So after asking so many questions, after doing so many studies, I found out that it's being linked to what? To the environment. What did I say? It's being linked to the environment. So there are three things. Everybody here, an environment can do three things to you. The environment, I'll explain to you what an environment is. An environment can do what? Three things to you. It can either make you flourish, or it can make you what? To be stagnated. Or it can make you what? To diminish. Your environment can either make you what? Flourish and strive. Or it can make you what? Just be at the same level. Or make it to what? To diminish. How many of you have wished? How many of you have come in? Let me just give you an instance. I'm already jumping the gun, but let me just give you this to understand better. Please, just know everybody's name. Let me remember. Just say your name one. I know it's Naya, Jubilee, Sandra, Lydia, Chiso, Basi, Rikia, Boe, Elizabeth, Daniela, Somi, Stephanie. Thank you. Have you ever been in a place where, I don't know, I just have this thought. I was in a school where the chancellor of my school was a very, very influential man in society. So most times I was always struggling. There were things I wished for myself. I believe if I stayed in this man's house for 3 months, I'll be better. How many of you had that thought? You see somebody that is doing something in an industry, you're like, I would like to be with this person. How many of you have come in contact with some friends, with some people? And the next thing, just because you're in that office or in that select group of people, there's something inside you that wants to make you do what they are doing. Has it ever happened to you before? I remember one time I had a roommate in university. He always used to pray. And I was not the guy that used to pray. I was not the kind of guy that loved to pray. Guess what? Just staying in that room for 1 year, I think I prayed. I wake up in the night, I was saying, Nkem, you're actually useless. So see somebody's praying throughout the whole night. See me, I'm just there answering phone calls and doing midnight calls. How many of you did midnight calls? All right, let us keep that. So you see, an environment can what? Flourish you, stagnate you, or what? Or diminish you. It must not. And stagnation is a bad thing. So most times, the world is moving. The world is continuously moving. So when you are stagnant, guess what is happening? You're actually dying. Am I communicating with you? So there's this deception that makes you feel like, okay, even though I'm not making any progress, even though I'm not, being at my best, just by just doing nothing or existing or being the same person you were, do you know what happens? You are actually what? Losing, Basi. Say God forbid. All right. So what makes up an environment? What makes an environment? Let's open to. It's a kingdom matter class, so I take a lot of my inspirations from the Bible. Genesis 1. What's the first? So let me just give you history. Man was not created for the world. The world was created for what? For man. So what we see around us is for you. You are not what? For it. So in creation, we see God creating what? Heavens and the earth. Everything leading to what? To the what? To the creation of what? The first man. To the creation of what? The first man. So what are the environment? So God was putting, he was very, very intentional. God was putting man in an environment where he would thrive. What was the first garden? Where did he plant man first? He planted man what? At Eden. He was putting man in the first what? Place where he thrived. So he started creating everything. Oh, animals. Oh, this. Oh, that. So the first thing God created, the first aspect of an environment is what? What's the first word in Genesis chapter 1? The first sentence in Genesis 1. That's the first thing God created, time. So time does not dictate God. So at that time, when they say in the beginning, this is where God started clock, whatever clock is. So God is not ruled by time. God can, hope you know God can go to 2,000 years now, as we are like this now. I can come back to 3,000 years. So God's not ruled by time. The first thing God created, the first thing that determines your environment is time. Second thing God created what? Space. Plants, mountains, buildings. And the last thing God created is what? People. So an environment consists of three things. An environment what? Consists of what? Three things. Time, space, people. These are the three components that allow you either what? Thrive, allow you either what? Stagnate, or allow you what? Diminish. So let's go to time. Are we ready? All right, let's start. Time. Time is the SI unit of life on the earth. Time is the SI unit. When somebody dies, what's the biggest letter on that obituary? The age. So that's the biggest way. Most times we see, somebody died. What's the first question you ask them? How old was he? Then what caused it, right? When you see somebody died, you see 85. Would you be angry? You'd be like, that's right. That's right. But if somebody died, you see 29. You're like, what happened? You get more sad. But if it's 85, you're like, let the guy go rest now. Or you see 91. Or you see one. Or you see one, I'll be like, in fact, like, remember there was this monarch. I don't call the name because this is a global stage. There's a monarch that lived that didn't want to die. You remember the monarch, right? Yeah. She didn't want to die. I was like, if she was in Nigeria, she would have died since. They will have killed her. Either she dies by natural cause or by what? Unnatural cause. Something will happen because how can imagine the person that took over her? Sorry, the person that took over her. See how old he is. That one has less than 10 years to read. All right, so you see, time is the SI unit of your life. I want to measure your life now. I measure your life with what? With time. It's the first. You see, there's a law. There's a law. There's a law. It's called the law of the first. It's called the law of what? Of the first. The moment you see how the first is, it determines what? How the rest is. It's a very important law, and I'll talk about that later. Second point to note about time. I'm also giving you points about time. The earth is governed by time. So because it's the first thing God created, it's the governing principle of what? Of life. How many of you have gotten married before? How many of you have gotten married? How many of you are married? I had a very rough experience when getting married. You know what happened to me? I was like, wait in the next 2 weeks. Okay, no problem. Wait in the next 2 weeks. I was like, there's time for us to relax. And do you know that? When my wedding was next tomorrow, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait. It was not waiting. You have set dates. It's not waiting for you. So time does not wait for you. Everything you can control. Am I communicating with you? Almost every aspect of life, to an extent, you can have. People have controlled Earth's moving equipment. People have controlled even space. People have gone there to understand. Okay, this can happen, but time, can any of you stop it? It keeps on what? Going. It's beyond your what? Your control. Why? It's the governing principle of what? Of life on the earth. The third point is, those who know how to use time rule the earth. So since it's what is governing the earth, right? Once you know how to what? Utilize it, you become a governor. Many of you, time is using you. How many of you? Confess. Time is using you. You're not using time. So guess what? You even come into your day without planning. How many of you started today by planning today? I'm not asking whether you wrote, but you planned it. If you don't plan your day, time is ruling you. You're not ruling time. Because the only way to utilize, the principal way to use time is to what? Is to plan with it. Because guess what? She's not waiting for you. Except you want to use Joshua's method and stop it. Hey, stop. I'll do this. But she's not what? She's not waiting for you. Are you ready? Time is the greatest gift to mankind. Greatest gift to mankind. Now, let me give you guys 3 options. Hi, Antonina. So, just reduce the volume. Okay. No, wait, there's time to ask questions. So, time is the greatest gift to mankind. Sorry, we have some people connected online. Yeah. Time is the greatest gift to mankind. Let me give you 3 options. Let me give you 3 options. Should I give you 3 options? You have $1 trillion, and you have 10 days to live. You have 10,000 naira and you have 200 days to live. 20,000 naira, you have 100 years to live. And you have 50 years. You have let me change it again. You have 10 years to live, but you have great skill, craftsmanship. Which one would you choose? I will give you $1 trillion. You have 10 days to live. Second one, I will give you 200,000 naira. You have 100 years to live. Third one, you'll be a great craftsmanship, but you have 10 years to live. Like you can be able to create things and invent things. Which one would you use? Craftsmanship, all of you have lost it. You have failed the question. Guess what? So you'll be 10 years old. I'll be creating. Now, you can all tell me that there is more opportunity with 100 years to have $1 trillion. Am I communicating with you? If you look at it very well, I will not allow you to choose option C. Because there's more opportunity with you to even have $10 trillion. But just having $10 trillion, you can't finish it in 10 days. You cannot. At the end of the day, at the ninth day, you start crying. I'm stupid. That's what you say. What entered my head? What entered my head? Maturity is the ability to discern and make right decisions, right? So 2, next point, time is what? Unforgiving. Next point, God respects time. Satan does not. God understands protocol. He respects it. So if you see something, if God wants to do a miracle in your life, it's a one-time thing. But if God wants to bring you to a permanent place, he uses what? Principles. I'll say it again. If God wants to bless your life or bring a miracle in your life, where he has to avert the law of time, what happens? It happens in one-time thing. You are broke today now, and you need money. Next, you open your suit, you see $100,000 to pay for. $100,000. You're a rich man already. So, but you see money to pay for your rent. Allah, thank God. But would God sustain you by giving you 100,000 every day in your pocket? What would he do? He will sustain you by allowing you come to a process where you can learn how to be able to produce 100,000 naira. I don't know if I'm communicating with you. So, Forbes list, let me just use this to just bless you more. Forbes list will tell you're a billionaire because you have what? $1 billion asset. God will tell you're a billionaire because you have the ability to produce billions. Because he will make you a billionaire before the billions come. So that when the billions that is taken, now let me know something. If you bring all the wealthy billionaires to this room, and you take all their money from them, some will cry, some will not cry. Do you know why? The billionaire that God made, is the person. But the billionaire that the world made is the one that what? I'm not using the word, but stole $1 billion. Why do evil things strive? Because the only way to sustain evil is to keep on stealing. But when you come to those evil people's presence, they cannot even sustain. You can't have a good conversation with them. Like, come, how are you wealthy? But you come with some people, you know that this man is a billionaire himself. I'm not speaking for believers or unbelievers, I'm speaking for everybody. God respects time. In every person, there's a seed time. Now, this is one thing to understand. So, based on time, the Bible, God said to, after he finished destroying the world with water, he struck a covenant and says, it's going to be what? Seed time and harvest. In every human being here, you have a seed time and you have what? A harvest time. So what does this mean? Seed time means that there's a time when you start sowing the seed. Harvest time means there's a time when you start what? Harvesting what you've put in. Also, in every man's life, there's a day and night. Please, I want to explain something to you. Some of you are your seed time, some of you are your daytime. Night time means that there will be a time when you cannot do what you can do right now. You know, I've did a lot of study about most of our parents in the past. Do you know that they had money? Do you know that they had very good jobs? Do you know that they were able to live well? Most of them are not having that money now. Why? Thank you. Am I communicating with you? There's a night time. There comes a time when that strength he has is no longer what he can do before. Did you get? So if he did not use that seed time, are you seeing how he connects? If he did not use that seed time well, during this harvest time, they'll be little or no what thing to harvest. He will begin to live start begging. Comes to a point where, so have you seen parents that even if they're in the night time, they're the ones giving? But I've seen parents that, even though they're in the night time, they're still asking from you. So there are two kinds of parents in Africa. I don't know about the rest of the world. But there's a parent that will disturb you for money every day. There's a parent that will ask you, what's happening? Are you okay? Do you want me to send it? How many of you want the other one? See, so love you. All right. So you see, in every of your life, and I'm saying this to you, and I'm saying it very, very systematically, that there's a time when what you can do now. So you see, I always advise my mentees. I always tell them, walk your life in a way that you never walk again. When you're working for the need, you forget the future. So when you're planting your seed, understand that there's a night time coming. I'm just saying these two systems, you understand it, because he said that he spoke that covenant, that as the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest what? Will not cease. So during your daytime, the energy you can put in right now and wake up and work for 6 hours, 8 hours straight, there will be a time when you're working for 1 hour, you're sleeping. How many of you have seen some men walking and you're like, this man is meant to be resting, not going to be going up and down and be resting? Do you understand? So right now, I'm saying to all of you, because we all have a burst of energy. When you're working, when you're putting systems in place, start working in a way that I'm working in a place where I would not be able to work again. I've put systems, I've had investment. Don't worry, it's about passive income. There will be another class about handling passive incomes. So you must have a passive income. What's a passive income? An income where you do not do anything and it produces money. So there are all the billionaires today. Do you know that the average billionaire works for 4 hours? Should I say it again? The average billionaire works for 4 hours. And what is he getting? Reports. Probably sometimes they work very billionaire. But the average billionaire, 4 hours, non-distracted what? Effort to your work. Okay, I'm available now. Meeting, out. What is Bill Gates doing now? He's dashing money. That's his work opinion. Learning and dashing money. All right. What you do with your time is what you become. Basi, the equation of you is equal to time and action. What you do with your time is who you become. Naya. What you do with your time is what? Who you become. A man is the summation of the actions he has taken with his time. A man is the summation. Many of you today wouldn't have been here, right? 3 of us. Some of you will have been somewhere else. In fact, I saw some of you answering phone calls, asking for extension of time. But you are here today because of some decisions you took. Do you believe that if you're still in the banking sector, do you think you still be there? Do you understand? So you are here because of a decision you made. Do you understand? That's why you're here. So the summation of who you become is tied to the decisions you made with that gift that was given to you, called what? Time. Time is a currency. That's why you spend it. Let's say it again. Time is a what? It's a currency. That's why you what? You spend it. Tools to manage time. So I'll give you some tools to manage time. I'll give you 3 tools. But it's a build-up. Now, it's board time. Are we ready? All right. Tools to manage time. There are 3 systems of tools, and one is the highest. So I'll start with the lowest one, and I'll take you to the next one. So when you are going to start this, I hear what I'm saying. Start with what? The lowest one. If you're not doing it before. So find out where you are in the table, then locate yourself, then go to the highest one. Am I communicating with you? The lowest tool to use in managing your time is called what? A to-do list. I know you've planned things in your mind, but you must write it down. 1 hour of work can save you 6 hours of needless work. 1 hour of planning can save you what? 6 hours of work, needless work. How many of you have planned your year? How many of you have planned your year? Try to plan. Don't worry, I'm not going to attack you. But shall you plan your year after this? So have a what? A to-do list. But this is the lowest form of time. So what's a to-do list? Today, I'm going to, I should just come, open papers. If you come to my study, you see many papers of my to-do list. I just write it down. Then permit me to just say this, because I'm jumping the gun. I might say it later. But do you know the greatest enemy of your time? Do you know what it is? Distraction. Distraction. Do you know that if you are paying attention, full attention to something for 20 minutes, and you carry your phone and answer a chat, to come back to that same level of concentration, it takes you 10 minutes. So if you're concentrating on one project, on one design, since I have some business people here, on one stuff, and you left it to answer something or speak to a call or speak to a friend, for you to get back at that level of concentration, it takes you 10 minutes. That level of concentration. And guess what? You have wasted time. So most times, what I do is that when I want to work, I drop my phone somewhere else, and I go to the laptop and just do this work. I was so shocked. This is the system. See, I've been privileged to work with high billionaires. I'm letting you know, there are times you can't call them. No matter, there are times you can't what? If you call him by this time, he's doing this thing. Don't worry, I'll tell you about that level. So to-do list. Do you understand? Have a to-do list. Come back, say, okay, fine. Then after you do a to-do list is the lowest way. The second way to do it is what? Time blocking. Have you heard of time blocking before? Who has ever heard of time blocking before? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Time blocking is like this. You know how your Google Calendar is, right? It uses a time blocking system. Are you seeing the system? It's a 1 hour what? You can use 30 minutes, but 1 hour is the most popular one. So what does time blocking system mean? What's it about? You put slots. So your to-do list is just a list of things you will do for that day, right? Or for that month, or for that week. But time blocking is you now putting the slot. Okay, I will work on this project from what? 6 to this time. I'm what? Doing this. From this time to this time. So you give a task, a time. Am I communicating with you? Don't just leave it to the list. Okay, I will do it every time. You leave the what? The task to your time. And please, hint, when doing your time blocking, there's one thing to do. Once you're doing your time blocking, find out how many of you are creative at night. How many of you are creative in the morning? How many of you are creative? Your best creativity time is in the shower, in the toilet. Are you serious? Inspiration comes. That toilet has a way of you connecting to one world that you don't understand. All right. So you see, plan with that intelligence. A human being is highly productive for 4 hours. A normal person for 4 hours. That's where your high productivity level comes. Find it out. I know my own. Find it out and plan with it. But guess what? Even though you are productive for 4 hours, you must apply discipline to ensure that even if you are at your productive state or not, you are going to ensure that you are doing it, and you are doing it without any distraction. For 1 hour, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on this thing and what? Push it aside. 1 hour, when I finish with this thing, I what? Push it aside. It's very important. I'm teaching you how to allow your 2024 to be very productive. It takes me 6 hours to achieve a certain project. I said to myself, okay, I took my phone away when I learned these things. One day I took my phone away, dropped it in the room, went to my office, my home office. I started working on it. What usually would take me 6 hours, I did it in 1 hour. I was shocked. Guess what? I had demanded, with my phone, I didn't even touch it. You know when you walk, I just want to, hey, what's going on? I didn't see it. Guess what happened? I went back to it. See, WhatsApp is on the laptop to Rabbi, WhatsApp web. I deleted it. I didn't have access to it. Am I communicating with you, please? So you must come to a point in your life where you work, when you're doing your time blocking, you put it in times that work with you. Then the last one, this is the one that people do not know. How many of you have learned this one before? I can bet you nobody knows about it. Routine. I've never heard it before, but it came to me. Maybe I'm not the first person to talk about it, but probably this might be the first time you hear me talking about it. Routine is the highest form of using your time. It's the highest form of what? Time usage. Routine is you hacking life. So when you do a to-do list, you apply time, and you stick to it, you now have a routine. So have you met, people have met billionaires before, Abi? Have you been speaking to somebody that you know that is performing, and you say, I want to book a meeting with you. And you can't just book any time with him. Have you heard things like, I'll check my calendar? Yes. Have you heard things like, I'm free between this time and this time? Do you know why? They have routine themselves. Am I communicating with you? They've what? Put their body. Now let me tell you why all of you are in a certain level of routine. What time do you sleep? Anybody have a particular time you sleep? You have a particular time you sleep? When that time comes, if you're in the club, do you know you yawn? Let me let you know that if you sleep by 10 p.m. for 3 months, every 10 p.m. you're asleep. If you, by 10 p.m., you broke that routine, you were somewhere else doing something or working, do you know by 10 p.m., unknowingly you do, do you know why? Your body is a program of the mind. Okay, let me just tell you something about the subconscious mind. So the way subconscious mind works is that once you do things in repetition, consistently, you no longer use conscious memory again. You now move it to what? Unconscious memory. Am I communicating with you? So it's in that unconscious memory that mastery happens. So it's in that place you routine yourself. And there are areas to routine yourself in. One is what? Work. The areas to just write it down. Areas to routine yourself is what? Work. Diet as food. Sleep. Sure you sleep 6 to 7 hours a day. Play. Private devotion. So, I missed one point to tell you about this time blocking. When you're assigning time, you want to assign your time, handling a project. This is not a project management course, I will talk about that. But there are 3 things to note. Prioritize. How do you prioritize tasks? There are 3 criteria to note. I will talk about this deeply in another masterclass, but not this one. One is urgency. 2 is reward. 3 is opportunity. Urgency, reward, opportunity. How urgent is this task? What is the reward of doing this task? So number 1, the first thing is urgency. So what do you do when having this criteria? It's called 4 Ds. How many of you have learned about the 4 Ds of time planning? The 4 Ds. There are 4 Ds of time planning. 1 is called what? Do. Number 3 is called defer. Defer means to delay it. 3 is what? Delegate. Last one is what? Delete. There are some things in your to-do list that you don't have to do. So, do the one that is urgent, rewarding. Do you understand? The one that is, defer the one that is what? Probably rewarding, but not urgent. You get what I'm saying? Then delegate the one that is not what? That rewarding is not urgent, but it's an opportunity. So you know what? Handle this thing. Then the one that is not urgent, it's not rewarding, it's not what? An opportunity for you to scale up. What should you do? Delete it. Please, there's a law of elimination that the world needs to come into place right now. Many of us are just saying yes, people. Understand that one of the principles of growth is elimination, not addition. In farming, if you want to allow a plant to grow bigger than it is, what do? You don't apply, you prune it. You want to apply more fertilizer or more this thing, what do? You reduce it. So in your life, in 2024, answer the question of what? Elimination. The next point is called space management. Another criteria, component that determines your environment is what? The space around you. The most powerful tool of the human body is the sight. The most powerful tool of the human body is what? It's sight. The space you are is very important to who you become. The space you are is very what? Important to what? To who you become. It's very... Do you know that for me to enter your space, do you know what you give me? Permission. Nobody can ever enter your space without you giving them permission. There's nobody or nothing that can enter into your space without what? Everybody that can enter your space, that permission is what? Is an intruder. And what do you do with intruders? You chase them away. But most times, what have we done? Is that we have given permission to what? To intruders in our life. So space has 3 babies under them. You have your physical space, digital space, and mental space. Physical space, digital space, and mental space. Now let's go to physical space. Most of you here have your own rooms in the house, right? Most of you, if you're staying with somebody, you have a place where you sleep. At least, let me advise you, if you're sleeping with somebody in the same bed, face the wall. Just divide that half part. If you're married, this is your space. Now let me say something. Your room is your temple. I can come into your house now. You allow me, right? But if I walk into your room, what would you do? So you see that she is going to send me out of her room. My house. Do you know why? Do you know why she can do that? Even if I'm blessing her like this, now she should send me out of her room. Why? Why would you do that? You would do that because it's your temple. I'm letting you know that. In case you don't know, your room is what? It's your sacred place. You must guard it. It's very personal to you. But if I enter your room now today, do you know that I can enter your room? I can enter your house and I know the kind of person you are. I can just look at your wall frames. Like, maybe I enter your wall frame, I see Cardi B is the best thing that happened to me. Or I see Cardi B's picture. I look at the left, I say, like, Jesus Christ, what's happened to this person? I've never been wrong. So, your physical space. Do you know that for you to achieve something, a kind of sight must come to you first? And anybody that has used a vision board, I have the experience of meeting people that have used vision boards. All of them has come to a point where they said, everything in my vision board, I achieved it. When I find out a percentage of people that end of 2023, they achieved the goal for their life. They had the vision board. They didn't just write it down. They represented it in pictures. So what's a vision board? A vision board is the pictorial representation of the end result of that goal. The most important information I'm giving here is what? End result. So your vision board is not, let me give an example. I say do vision board. Next thing you put business. You write it. You write business. What is the end result of business to you? Don't put a picture of the process. Put a picture of what? Of the end result. So vision shows you a picture of how things would be, not how things is going to be being. Do you understand? Permit me for using that word. So most times, the mistake we make with vision board is that we set what? We set the process. Please, when doing your vision board, this is not a vision board class, but probably if you follow me in my channel, you'll be able to know what how a vision board class is. But wait for the vision. Sorry. When doing a vision board, you must be able to. So this is what you put. I remember, I went to Dubai and I saw a skyscraper. I will never forget the skyscraper. It's called Maf Tower. Very high building. And it had a very good imprint in my life. In fact, it's my first time saying these stories publicly. Only my wife knows about it. In fact, I had an inclination. God said, you build things like this. I said, okay, no problem. I went back. What did I do? My room, at the time I was not married. I printed it out. And I pasted it. I pasted it on the wall like this. My room wall. So when you entered my room, you could see. There's no way you not ask me questions. So when my dad entered the room, like, I just saw it. You want to build skyscraper? Yes. I'm saying some certain kind of things will not come into your life because you don't put the site. When God wanted to bless Abraham, the first vision board in the world, God said, I'm going to bless you. But wait, you have to see this thing. If not, it will not come. If not, it will not come. You have to see these things. It was not needed. We all know that whatever God says will come to pass, right? Whatever God says will come to pass. Do you believe that? Eh? But God says, you know what? Even though I say I'll bless you, let me show you something. So what does vision board does? It brings that thriving ability inside you to be able to become what you want to become. Second one is called digital space. Now, 20 years ago, I will not be able to say digital space, but do you know that the average person uses their phone more than the way they interact with human life? Average person. Some of you here maybe don't use your phones. But how many of you you are more connected to this world by your phone than with your physical phone? With your phone now, you can communicate with 5,000 people in 1 hour. You can check their content, right? That's how you communicate with them, right? Chat, check their content, this thing. Interact, find out what's going on in the person's life, not by just your phone, by this small device. Physically, I can only interact with you what? I'm limited now. I'm only limited to about 10 or 15 people in this what? Masterclass. 2 of us. But with your phone, now, do you know that you can create your space? You can create space for yourself. There was one time. So I was working with I hacked it. So I hacked it. I was married, and every time I'll be seeing naked girls sponsored ad. I'm not joking. Sponsored ad to me. I'm like, what is going on? So I had to stop using my phone. I had to stop what? I had to stop using, and basically I have an agency, so we do things like that. So I stopped with my phone because I'm like, what's going on? I never knew you could. I just felt that I was at the verge. But when I thought about it, I remember why I was seeing those people. So I was working with a skincare company. So most times, when I'm trying to get inspiration for that skincare, I might go and check some other skincare brands. And now, you know how skin is now. So they might think that probably, I'm just guessing, maybe it's a lie. But back then, I believe it was the devil that was after my life. Back then, I was like, I'll meet my friends. I'm like, Instagram is attacking married men. There's something that is going on. I was like, are you seeing? One day I'll show my friend, see. Why? Say, Mr. Nkemi, it's you that is doing that. I say, it's a lie. But what did I do to change my life? What did I do to change my life? After I told you guys, I never knew. One day somebody said that you can see a content and say, I'm not interested. Are you serious? So the person did my phone, they're like, Jesus Christ. If you use WhatsApp, you use their status to mute. There are things you will see now. So if you open my phone now, what do you see? Football for entertainment, church, inspiration, business, hacks. That is my life. But some of you now, let's try it. Give me your phone, let's check. Let me just go to your. Hey, I'm meeting now. Let me go to some of your pages. You see, this is, see, I was having a conversation with my wife and she was talking about how most times the usage of all the social media doesn't really bless you that much. You just while away time scrolling. Just TikTok. That's why I don't use till today. During lockdown, TikTok almost killed my life. You can be on TikTok for 6 hours. You'll be laughing for money. Okay, you know it before. Okay. All right. So you can. All right, guys. Please, thank you. You can hack your digital space. My wife did something that was very beautiful. If you go to her laptop now, you see a vision board. If you go to her phone now, you see almost a picture of a vision board. So this is how to hack life. I will say some brief testimony. I will see some certain level of progress in life around me. I'm like, I want to have something like that. What did I do? I changed what I was seeing. Many of you might be complaining about lust. Okay, I'm having lustful thoughts. I'm having lustful issues. Go and check what you're seeing. Just that clip on Netflix. See, because a generation or a percentage of population is watching Netflix, LGBTQ went to Nigeria. Shall I say it again? Because a certain level of population is what? Is watching Netflix. There are some Western norms that will enter Nigeria. Why? 30 years or 50 years ago, you could not say some things like this. Do you know you cannot discuss about it? But what happened? Slowly, I won't call Western nation because I actually love some things they are doing. Some thoughts. Now, do you know that you can become an apologist? Being neutral to it. Do you know there's nothing being neutral to? Leave them now. Guess what now? Guess what happened? Don't worry. Let me give you guys 15 years. 15 years like this, you'll be toasted by a woman. I'm even, as I'm saying this thing like this now, my risk for saying things like this. Honestly, for saying things like this, I'm actually at risk. But you see, who really cares? Then mental space. So what's mental space? Mental space is the combination of how you work with your digital space and your physical space. I will say this and I'll say it again. Whatever, Basti and Chiso, whatever is going to come into your life must come into your mind first. Whatever will come into your into your life must come into your your mind first. The mind is where you give things permissions. Am I communicating with you? The quality of your life is the quality of your mind. So everything about space, is targeting what? The mind. So anything that wants to come into your life today, a thought will come first. Then let's get to the last point. Are we ready? Video guy, have you said? All right, to the last point. People management. This is basically, do you know that the highest paying job in the world is people management? Do you know, right? Okay, let's just answer it. You know how to design. You came to a company. You're a designer in the company, right? They promoted you. They made you manager. What do you become? A manager of what? Other designers. That are what? People. Hope you know, to be a good manager of other designers, you don't need to be a good designer, right? You have to know how to what? Manage people. Guess what? Going up the ladder, who are you managing? Thank you. From manager to maybe CCA level, then from C level to CEO. You're a CEO today. The major people you are dealing with is what? People. The reason why we have wars today is people. Just one communication that went wrong. Please, this year, I know people are having many goals. Learn how to manage people. I will show you some, and I'll show you a principle. Learn how to what? Manage what? People. This will bless you. You become the company you accompany with. You become the company you accompany with. If there are 5 billionaires in your life, you counted wrong, there are 6. If there are 6 thieves in your life, you counted wrong, there are 7. If there are 7 good believers in your life, you counted wrong, there are what? There are 8. First Corinthians 15, verse 33-34. Do not be what? Do not be deceived. Even what? Communication what? Corrupts what? Good manners. The greatest wealth in this world is not money. So I'll talk about it in other place. Miles Murray was giving us 7 levels of wealth, and I had some insight into what he was saying. But he said, apart from spiritual wealth, the next level of wealth is relationship wealth. Now let me give an example now. Basi, you own 1 billion naira. Calling smoothly in your account. I own 1 million naira. Who's richer? Yeah, you own 1 billion. I own 1 million. I say, who's richer? Yeah, she's trying to think. Who's richer? You, right? You own 1 billion in your account. I own 500,000. Tinubu is my boy. Presidents and influential people, they listen to me. Who's richer? Why? Do you know that some things I'm doing today is based on the fact of goodwill? Hope you know. Some of you are in this class today. You waited, right? For a very long time. Do you know it was goodwill that was supporting it? Even though I know you needed the information. A certain level of goodwill came, 2 of us. A certain level of goodwill, like, I'm saying, don't worry, I'll wait. If it was another person, would you have left? Would you have left? Would you have left? You get what I'm saying? So, there are things, if all you have, you got it through money, you are very poor. If all you have was gotten through the fact that you can transact with what? Cash. I think you are one of the poorest people, because the highest man, that is the highest form of wealth is what? Relationship. At every stage in your life, you must have 3 sets of people. 3. I'll talk to you about them. 3 sets of people. If those people are not in your life, you are not what? Healthy. Anyone that comes into your life, you've given them permission to determine your destiny. Any person. Jubilee, do you listen to me? Anyone that comes into your life, you give permission. You have told that person, I've given you power to determine where I'll go. Please, this thing I'm saying, I'm not just saying good words. It's a master class, right? That's why I'm sharing this information. Anybody that comes into your life. I know someone that did not have friends for over 4 years until recently. I know someone that she did not. Do you know why? The person could not allow anybody just enter their space like that. If I want to become your friend today, I come and I study. Some things I just, allow. There are people I've loved in my life. One day I loved that. See this guy, I want to be my friend. Next thing, what do you say? Women are just useless. Women I say, if I listen to this guy in my life, my marriage will be destroyed. I left. I cannot stay there. You have a friend, for those of us that are married, and every time he's always saying something about your husband. Keep short. Even if he's your family member. Don't stay around. Change the topic, because you cannot undo family, right? Change what? Say no, don't worry. Anybody, I'll say it again. Anybody that comes into your life, into your space, you've given them permission to determine your what? Your destiny. There are many of us today, as I speak, that are stagnated. Not because you're not smart, not because you're not wise, not because you don't have things to do, but because there's somebody in your life that is taking you somewhere else. They carry you where you don't know. But no grief for anybody is here. So what I say, no grief for anybody what? Yeah. No grief for anybody is here. There was one time I wanted to build my prayer life. I felt that I liked reading the Bible, but I didn't like praying. How many of you have prayed before? When you finish praying, you say, I've prayed for 10 hours. The next time, check the time. It's all 2 minutes. You're like, like when you finish praying, you're like, you're even sweating. Next, you'll be like, so what's happened this time? Correct. You're like, this is not the correct time. There is something what? Something is wrong. But there's this brother that was in church. Prayer was like ice cream for him. I said, because I was facing some spiritual battles. And I knew that those things were coming because I didn't have a good prayer life. What did I do? See, don't be. You see a grace working in somebody's life. Go on. And that is. I don't even need to. Do you know? Do you know that when you have a friend or someone in your space, you don't even need to say, I need this from you. Just that person being around you collect it. Just that person being around you collect it. So I came and I met this brother. I said, sir, you know how to pray very well, please. After church, let me pray. I said, okay. He took it too serious. He said, I'm his covenant prayer partner. I said, wait. Till today, he's not happy with me. He made me, I said, sir, I want to just learn how to pray. He said, from now on, you're my covenant prayer partner. After I took the gift, I ran away because. But till today, like, if he sees me, if I say one thing, he will say, be your last. Is that thing that you're paying you? Because I did. To show you how he was very serious, he took me to Jevinik. That time, Jevinik was the restaurant. Bought me plenty food. But guess what? The guy was praying. I learned. That's how I learned. As we prayed, I came. Hey! I was showing myself. The guy was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. I said, this guy doesn't know anything. I already shouting, hey. Almost 15 minutes reach. 15 minutes reached. 15 minutes reached. The guy was like, next thing, that thing I was doing, he entered it for almost 1 hour. I was like, I said, Nkem, calm down, relax. Next time I'm praying, don't just enter. Relax. Say you're praying long. I say you're praying short. So you're praying long. Start. It's a marathon. So the next day came. I did the same thing. Do you understand? I started following. Honestly, I checked time. I was shocked that we spent hours. I was like, are you serious? Now, I picked something from him now, and I had the prayer life. And I had the ability to now deal with that stuff that was happening in my personal life. Now, I said all this story to say this. Is that, what if you are still in this point where you're not satisfied where you are because there's somebody there? Or you're allowing pride not allow you to connect with somebody? Antonina. Yes? I'm just greeting you. Hi. So please don't joke with relationships. Don't what? Don't joke with what? Never. I'll say it again so that you hear. It goes into your mind and your innermost being. Anybody that you allow to come into your personal space, you've given the person permission to determine your destiny. Determine your destiny. If the devil wants to destroy your life, you know what he does? He sends you the wrong person. There is no, see, this system, it is the only system. If it tries every other way to deceive you, let me accept this person into your life. After this thing, I want you to do audit of your life on time, space, and people. Audit it. But the times I was going like this, then something happened. Next thing, everything just went like this. Audit it. How did I use my time? What is my space like? And who are the people that are there? Most times, it's people. From my personal experience. The devil wants to deceive you, distract you. Who does he send? Somebody. Okay. How many of you in this class, you were doing very well in school? Next thing, they did one boy. How many of you guys should confess? You were doing very well in school. Next thing, a man now entered inside. What happened to you? For those of you that raised your hand, carry over. Do you understand? It's not funny, but you see, Bah. Jubilee was acing. She was acing in class. Just look at the math. One guy entered her life, and that was the end. Me too. Me too. I've had people enter my life, and I'm like, my God, how did I ever allow you to enter my life? Where did you come from? Please, be friendly with everybody, but not everybody is your friend. I'm not saying this to make you polite. Oh, I want to come to your house. No, don't worry. I'm not available. Do you understand? Thank you. So, if God wants to do something in your life, you know what he does? He sends someone to you. I cannot. How many of you, where you are today, somebody brought you? Where you are today, somebody held your hand and said, follow me. Somebody referred you. Where I am today, using TFA as this event, the reason why somebody said, go and meet him. I'm not joking. Somebody told the owner of this facility, I think he can work. I think this guy will work. Don't be foolish. Me against the world. It's a lie. The world will finish. Adam was alone when God said it's not good for what? Man to be alone. He was already alone. And God said with his mouth, it's not good for you to what? To be isolated. It's not good to throw away that mindset. Carry it like this and throw it away. I was talking about Satanism and people that are into occult and all this. And when I was watching some of the videos, I don't know why I was watching it, but they said that one way to identify these people is they're isolated. I'm not joking. One of the ways, one of the things that is consistent in their life, is that you don't see a certain form of isolation. They don't like to. They will come around, but they don't want to interact with anybody. It's a system of the evil world when you come to, I want to be alone. You are very weak when you're alone. So if God wants to do something in your life, what will he do? Now guess what? If the devil wants to do something in your life, what will he do? He will take somebody out of your life. Through offense. People fight. I'm not perfect. If you're my friend today, I want to know you. Have I annoyed you before? You're like, people have issues. You allow one small offense to determine it. That is it. See, if you have friends, offenses will come. You know what I'm saying? If you have friends, what? Just get ready. Offenses must come. But do you know how many people you've lost? All of you, just think. Because of one small offense, I will never talk to you in my life. This is the end. Block, cancel, scatter. This is the end. I'm not going to, just one small thing. Whereas, see, please understand this thing. Understand the value the person is bringing to you. When you understand the value the person is bringing to you, most times at that anger, do you know that it's almost impossible to make the right decision when you're angry. It's almost what? Impossible to make what? The right decision when you're what? When you're angry. So please, the devil what? If he sees that this person in your life is going to actually bring you to destiny, what does he do? He takes you away. And one of the ways he does it is what? Offense. Or comes to a point where you're not talking again. Fight. See, fight for relationships. I fight for relationships. People think I'm a sanguine or I'm an extrovert. Yes, I am. I have some extroverted qualities. But personally, you'll be surprised that the person that likes to go out in my house is not me, my wife. I don't like to go out. I like to stay in the house. But there are certain people that now I'm learning, okay, let's go out. I'll try my best, let's go out. One wedding you attend, your client might not be sitting beside you, or your next employer. You will not be in this class if somebody did not bring you. How many of you, somebody brought you to TFA? Don't lie to me now. I brought all of you here. What's wrong with you? Somebody brought you to TFA. All right. So, aloneness is better with God, but loneliness is what is bad. The fastest way to destroy is to take people that God has sent to you through offense. Do an audit of your life. Now, there are 3 sets of people to have in your life. How many sets? 3. This is important. So, I can come to an end. Then I will answer questions, then we'll now close. Okay? Are you happy? There are 3 sets of people that come into your life. If you do an audit of your life, and one of those sets is not there, you are not in a good state. You're not in a, I won't say good state, you're not in an healthy state. You know what? In a healthy state. Yesterday. So, if I give you this story. Number 1 is what? The elders. Somebody that you are what? Looking up like this to. What did I say? The elders. The elders. Yesterday, I had some issues. I wanted to just sort out my mind. Someone that is quite influential. He has advised me about family, about everything. I went to meet him and said, please, I really love your counsel. Me. A lot of people meet me for counsel. That I'm saying me. A lot of people meet me for counsel. But I'm telling you, me, yes, me. Okay. I went to meet him and said, sir, how will I do this? I actually use the word, I'm confused. I actually use that word. I'm confused. How will I handle this? You must have, see, God has given elders a gift to impart to you, no matter how you think you know more than them. They might not be able to use a smartphone, but they can make your life smart. They might not be able to, they will say, come and send an email for me. But there's something with them that when it's transferred to you, it puts you at an advantage in your life. God always honors transference. Am I communicating with you? He always honors what? You must have, see, forget about this thing. This is why I can talk bad about a government, but I cannot insult someone. I don't have that mind. I can talk bad about a government. I say, what is good on this government is not correct, and it's true. But I can't come to a point where I'm speaking to someone that is a family man, even though he has done something wrong. I'm saying this thing to somebody. Even if they were wrong, I'm letting you know that there's something, a gift in them that has to be transferred to you to take you, to allow you act better in your destiny that they're going for. You must have elders, maybe your parents, maybe somebody that's gone ahead of you, someone that's influential, somebody you look up to. You must have a mentor. You must have a mentor. You see how the person has led their life, and you're like, I would like to replicate this, not imitate this. Am I communicating with you? So you are very careful not to copy and try to become like them. Learn the principles. Do you understand? In Bible, oh, I see that you did things like that. Don't try and copy the person. Because if you imitate, guess what? You have lost the highest value of your life, your image. Because God made all of us differently. So you have something unique that neither I or anybody can give to this world. So copy their principles, but not copy them. Am I communicating with you? So you must what? Have elders. Don't use them. Really help them. So most times people come to you and say, I want to come and mentor me. Come and mentor me. I want to come and mentor me. And the first thing you do is to start what? Asking for favors. Do this. Do that. You will never, I say this to you, you will never have an experience that you have. Guess what? Those elders, they have things they're doing too, you know. So you want them to leave what they're doing and make you the whole project of your life. It's a lie. So when you are meeting an elder, what do? The first thing you want to start doing, not start asking questions. The first thing you want to start doing is what? How can I, this man now, this lady now, what can I do to help him? So all of us come with selfish mindset. That is why you can't maintain a relationship. Let me just teach you something. If you have so much money now, and somebody comes to you, I want to mentor me. Do you know how many times you hear it in this life? Just make like 1 billion naira now. You see how many people that, your friend that used to, that guy, you mentor me. Guy, they will tell you, the mentorship they need is what? But imagine you have 1 billion today. Somebody says, sir, I noticed that you do this. I want to help you become this. I want to take this thing from your life. What would you do first? You are trying to help me. So most times, that's why when you see someone that you want to become like, something in you tells you that I like this person. So what you do is very easy to help that person because there's a kind of connection between you and that person. So you kind of know what they want. So you research, what's this person's issue? Please, the first step to ensuring you have elders is not to collect. In fact, in every relationship, the three relationships, it's not what I want to come and what collect from you. It's I want to what help you. Don't use, because if you are collecting, you are using them. Nigeria has a lot of users. I've been used. How many of you have been used before? They will call you. How many of you have brothers? When they're calling you, they will praise you. Next thing, how far, please? There's a problem. I need money. People that call you only when they need money, those are users. I'm not saying you should not help them. I'm telling you a better way to go. When you start helping elders, do you know what they do? Let me just tell you a secret that I use sometimes in the business world. There's a psychology that if somebody gifts you something or helps you something, there's this psychology that you have to repay the person back. So, do you know what happens with them? They start thinking. One day they'll ask you, what do you want? How can I help you? I don't know where you work, whatever office you work. If you are truly doing well, your boss is thinking something like this. Okay, this lady, how can I help her? What do you want? So it moves from I need you to it moves from thank you to what? I need you. It moves from what? I need you to what? How can I help you? That's the highest bit of influence you want to have with all the people. Number 2 people to have is what? Associates. These are people that are around you. So the way to honor your elders is to, don't worry, I'll talk about it later. Associates. Share knowledge with them. See, I don't care. If you tell me this guy is my friend, I come to a meeting, your friends are having a meeting, and in that meeting, all the world is to yab you. Or there, this guy cannot do anything. This guy is too foolish. Honestly, I feel like you don't have a friend. Let me tell you something about an associate. There is what courtesy. There is what the moment you have a need is their need. Do you get what I'm saying? The moment you have a what? The moment you have a need, it becomes their need. Although maybe people are joking, can be insulting yourself, but when it comes to a point where they say, I want to do this thing, they are listening to you. Okay, fine. Okay, you want to do this thing? Okay, I have this person who will help you. Let's do an audit, please. I like to audit this one. How many of you, most of your friends are just insulting you? Or you guys spend your life doing just insulting each other? Fool, out there, nonsense, bastard. Cockroach. And he looks cute, right? I'm not saying don't do that though, if you guys are playful. But you see, you don't have your back. Does the good one overshadow this one? Do you come around them and you feel small? And what you enjoy is just the talk and the gist. The last one I call bleeders. Bleeders. You must have someone you're helping. Bleeders. You must be an elder to somebody. I don't know if I'm communicating with you. You must be a what? No matter. How many of you are helping somebody? There's somebody that you're sharing knowledge with. Somebody that is learning from your resources. You must be bleeding. If elders are pointing to you, I'm almost done. Yeah. I should pause. Yeah. If elders are pointing to you, associates shape you. Bleeders what? Bleed you. So it must be that. So as they are pointing to you, associates are what? Are shaping you. And bleeders what? Are collecting from you. You please don't live your life not having somebody. Now, guess what? Guess what? When God wants to bless you, guess who he uses? He doesn't use most times you think it's only elders. It can come from anywhere. The reference I got for one of this brand, even this brand that I was speaking about, was an associate. Wasn't even a bleeder actually. Oh, he has helped me. He knows how to do it very well. It can come from anywhere. See, don't help people because of their status. Am I communicating with you? Thank you. So how do you manage the relationship? There are 3 things to do to manage the relationship. One is honor them. You honor elders by respecting them. You honor associates by what? Having courtesy for them. You honor bleeders by believing in them. How do you honor elders? By what? By respecting them. You honor what? Associates by what? Having a courteous relationship. There's what? Mutual respect for each other. Then you honor what? Bleeders by what? Believing in them. Because you have to honor them too. So all of you think that, oh, that's how I honor you too. So the way you show them honor, the way they receive honor from you is that, I don't want to disappoint this person. This person believes in me too much. Do you understand? Number 2 way is to help them. I spoke about that. Help them. And number 3 is to intercede for them. Number 3 is to intercede for them. 5, let's answer this point, then we'll close. 5 friends to have in your circle. 5 friends to have in your circle. Number 1, dreamers, people that know how to dream. They can make your dreams look small. Have you said something to somebody? I want to buy a house this year. He's telling you he wants to buy a private jet. So like, oh. Have you met people like that? They're like, my dream is too small. Have dreamers around you. Number 2 is to have movers. People that have premium on action. They take action. So they're called movers. They have a premium on action. How many of you talk too much or analyze too much, you barely take actions, right? You need a mover in your life. I'm a mover because I think I was really quite laid back until I saw movers around me. I like, man, I need to take action too. Intercessors, people that know how to intercede for you. No matter what vision you have in your life, it will not come to pass if you don't pray. Number 4, evaluators. People that know how to evaluate, these are the best advisors. Evaluators, they have deep insight to things. Have you met people like that? Whenever you meet them to talk to them, they're like, they see things beyond this. I didn't see it like that. Then we have what they call critics. Very good people. Most times, these are the ones you fight with the most. You can hardly impress them. Say anything. Now, there's a difference between a good critic and a bad critic. A bad critic will pull you down. A good critic will do the same thing, but pull you up. They say, I don't think it's really nice, but I think you can make it better. And tell you how to make it better. But a bad critic is like, this is rubbish out there. Nonsense. All right, to sum it up, an environment is what? Has 3 components. First component is what? Time. You manage it with what? Having a to-do list, time blocking, and routine. Then we have people. And we have what? The space. Space, we have 3 kinds of spaces. We have what? Physical space, digital space, and mental space. So the physical space is around you, and I spoke to you that you should have what? A temple, which is your room. If you share a room, beg the person that you want to sleep close to the wall. When you wake up, that's the first piece. Let me give you an advice to that. In your toilet, put your toilet door, because mostly your toilet faces a door, right? Put your vision board there. Because most time you just sit down there with your phone. Don't look out there. Okay. Then I told you your digital space and your what? Physical space affect your what? Mental space. Then the last point is what? People. If God wants to change your life, He sends what? People to you. If He never wants to change your life, He sends what? People to you. Permissions you give into your people space can determine how your destiny what? Will become. If you have all these things and you audit all these things, you audit your elders, audit your associates, audit your what? Your bleeders. You audit time. How do I spend my time? Do I really waste time? And you do this by also ensuring that you judge yourself every day. How many of you judge yourself every day before the end of the day when you sleep? Did I use my day well? Because your life is in your daily routine and also your digital space. What am I looking at? Is it taking me to where I want to be? I believe that if you do all this, you'll be able to harbor. So you not only create. So creating is what? An intentional thing. That, okay, fine. This is not here. Huh? This space for me to try right now is not here right now. Are you seeing it? So when you've created it, the hard part is not in creating it. The hard part is what? And managing it to ensure it's what? Optimal level. The moment you can do this for 3 months, your 9 months is taken. Thank you so much. God bless you for coming.